What's going on, guys? It is Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel, and happy Friday, even though some of these asset prices might not be making you happy. But guys, you got to learn to detach your emotions from this market. Don't let it control you, and ultimately that is going to help you become a much more profitable investor. So today we are going to be talking about the king of all memes, and that is Dogecoin. Dogecoin is currently sitting at a $28 billion market cap, and the 24-hour volume on Dogecoin is looking phenomenal yet again at $3.3 billion. So you can't tell me that there isn't any attention on meme coins right now, because there is $3.3 billion of trading volume just on Dogecoin. Just on Dogecoin, guys. So I don't want anybody to just come out here saying that, oh, meme coins are dead, they're never going to come back, because ultimately that shows you that that's not the case. So yeah, Dogecoin is still down 6.5% in the past 7 days, 1.5% in the past 24 hours, and is sitting at 18 cents. Let's go ahead and open up this chart briefly real quick. So fundamentally, I don't think anything has changed on Dogecoin whatsoever. I do still think that if we can get some sort of parabolic altcoin run towards the end of this year or maybe early next year, it's hard to say really exactly when it'll happen. But I do still think that this coin could push up to about $1 to $1.20 at the absolute max. I really do think this because of the fact that we are seeing so much trading volume on such a terrible performing week. So if crypto were to get hot again, I don't think it's unrealistic to say that Dogecoin could be pushing $20 billion of trading volume in a 24-hour period. And if that's the case and the market sentiment is just incredibly bullish, I could see this coin running up to $1. So let's just go ahead and say my maximum price target on Dogecoin for the next year to two is going to be $1.20. However, as long as you guys are watching my channel, I'll let you know when I start to sell, and I will be selling well before then, well before that. And I'll be layering out. The higher we go, the greedier the market gets, the more I'll be selling. So I will keep you guys updated on that without a doubt. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the market as a whole. So right now we are sitting at a 28 out of 100 on the Fear and Greed Index, which is pretty well into fear. Not quite into extreme fear just yet. Will we reach it? I don't know, but it is possible. But nonetheless, this is the most amount of fear we've seen in the market since the peak of the tariffs back in March to April of this year. And guys, I just don't really see why people are so scared. I think the only reason is because people think that the 4-year halving cycle is going to come true again. And that essentially means that Bitcoin would have topped in October, or October 6th, I believe. So I think that that is the reason why people are so scared. I do think that that fear will start to, subside a little bit if the 4-year cycle starts to become proven wrong. And I do expect that that'll happen. I don't think the 4-year cycle is going to happen this year, or this go around, I should say, because of the fact that the macro is just looking amazing right now. At least in my opinion, it's looking very, very good for risk on assets like crypto. And I will talk about that now. So the most important thing when it comes to the macro right now is the Fed interest rate cuts. Right now, as you can see, the meeting that is in 11 days, so not next week, but the following week on a Wednesday, we currently have basically a 100% chance that we are going to get a 25 basis point rate cut, and a tiny percent chance that we could get a 50 basis point rate cut. I do expect that we'll get the 25 basis point rate cut, but that is incredibly bullish. So people aren't really talking about this anymore because they're distracted by the fear, but this is incredibly important and a reason why you should be bullish in the coming weeks. Now let's take a look at the December meeting. So the December meeting is a 94% chance that we'll see 2 rate cuts by the end of the year, which is what we all want. So thank God for that. And now we actually have a 6% chance of seeing 3 before the end of the year. That would be awesome. I don't think Jerome Powell will do it unless he's given a very valid reason. So I'd plan on 2 rate cuts, but that's great. And also, Jerome Powell said a couple days ago that he will be flipping from QT to QE in the coming months. I believe it's estimated to be December. So that's yet another reason to be bullish on crypto. And guys, this is the huge difference between 2021 when the bear market started for crypto and now. In 2021, our rates were basically non-existent. They were like basically 0% or 0.25 or whatever. Very low. And late 2021, right when the bull or the bear market started, is when Jerome Powell gave his press conference and said that he plans to aggressively hike rates in the coming years. That's exactly what he did, and that is exactly what caused that horrific crash in 2021. And that's exactly why I think that this time is going to be different. I could definitely see a bear market maybe late 2026, if like rates are low at that point and it doesn't seem like he's going to be lowering rates anytime soon, and say inflation starts to heat up and there's talks of rate hikes again. That's when I think that we'll really see the bear market for crypto. But I just don't see how it could happen right now, in my opinion. All right, let's take a look at the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, because we all know that this market follows whatever Bitcoin does. So even if you're not holding Bitcoin, you should still care about its price action. And the liquidation heat map, if you aren't familiar with it, shows where there's long leverage and short leverage and what price will liquidate those people that have those leverage trades open. This is important because this is basically what caused the terrible dump that we saw last Friday, because there was just insane amounts of long leverage, and the whales and exchanges went ahead and cleared all that out, which is a bullish thing. And right now, guys, as I'm sure you've seen on X and other social media platforms, everybody expects a bear market to happen, and everybody's starting to open up these massive short trades here. And there's a lot of them. And I highly doubt that the market makers are going to allow these people to win. So in my opinion, I don't know when it'll be. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, next week, next month. I'm not sure. But if it continues to be like this and people continue to make these massive bets that the price of Bitcoin is going to go down, I guarantee you guys we're going to go ahead and liquidate all of them. And if we were to do that, then our price is going to be at an all-time high for Bitcoin, around 128,000. And hopefully we can go higher from there. The problem is, if we do push to 130,000, 135,000, I guarantee you the long traders are going to start to get incredibly bullish again, overly bullish, and it'll probably be the reason why we come back down. So yeah, I do think that it's a much better time to be buying and selling, without a doubt, in my mind. But I wouldn't be making leverage trades at the moment. The volatility is just way too high. So unless you're playing with money that you're 100% willing to lose, and make sure it's not like your entire portfolio or anything like that, then it would be okay. But if it's money that you can't afford to lose, I wouldn't do it. All right, here's one piece of bullish hopium for you guys. So apparently another one of Trump's insiders who shorted the flash crash for 200 million just opened a Bitcoin long for 150 million and an ETH long for 76 million. So I don't know if this is true or not, but nonetheless, these are massive positions. So you would kind of think that this guy either knows what he's doing or knows something that we don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a good sign that we're currently at the bottom and we'll hopefully get a pump sometime soon. Because trust me, guys, I don't love looking at my portfolio and seeing all this negativity either. I feel like I handle it well, and that probably just comes from my deep understanding of the market. But still, it still sucks waking up every morning seeing the portfolio down like 5%. Nobody likes that. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is just briefly take a look at a couple different charts. So this is Bitcoin here. We got to about as low as 103,300 today. And since then, we have come up a bit to 106,400. I personally did buy the dip this morning on Bitcoin. I got in at like 105,200. So I'm happy with that purchase. I plan on holding that for quite some time. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, in terms of Bitcoin, I could definitely see us being at a bottom here, but I could also see us pushing a little bit lower, maybe to like 92,000. That seems to be a pretty popular opinion right now. There is a CME gap down there. I don't know how much that really matters at this point. It's been there for so many months, but nonetheless, there is one. So I'll go ahead and say I think worst case scenario, we push down to 92,000 and then recover up. Best case scenario, we're currently at the bottom. All right, and then Ethereum is actually holding up pretty nicely, to be honest. We're basically 3,830, pretty close to 4,000 still, so that's good to see. I feel like last year, if we were going through this much FUD, Ethereum probably would be back to like $2,000. So it's nice to see that the Ethereum bulls are holding this price up. Then the last thing I want to talk about is just this insanity that's going on in the precious metal space. Gold is just absolutely sending right now. It has come down a bit today. It was like 4,380 yesterday. We're back down to 4,250. I certainly would not be buying at these prices. There's pretty much every top signal in the book for gold right now. I mean, people are like lining up across buildings in like New York and like big cities trying to buy gold. Whenever people are that excited about an asset, you need to get out quickly. And I understand why people like gold, and I actually did buy some gold and silver mining companies a couple years ago that I have recently liquidated because, it's kind of like Bitcoin in terms of the fact that, you can't just print gold. You can't just make gold out of thin air. But nonetheless, guys, these are not the prices you should be getting in at. I definitely think gold will probably correct down to like the low 3,000s in the coming months, but yeah, that's either here nor there. And then kind of the same thing with silver. Silver got up to an all-time high yesterday at $54. It has retraced a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the top for precious metals, or at least if we consolidate around here for quite some time. I don't think these prices are sustainable, but we'll have to see. The main reason I wanted to talk about this, though, is if this is the top for precious metals, I feel like quite a few people are going to be taking their profits from precious metals and bringing it right back into the crypto space. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. We could get a nice Bitcoin narrative really any day now, basically because of the fact that it's the same thing but better than gold in so many ways. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's quite a tangent. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. I think that it's best just to stay bullish right now. I'm personally buying. I'm not going all in, but I'm starting my DCAs yet again, and I think it is a good time to do that. But yeah, guys, enjoy your weekend. I will most likely be making a video tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.